lovely, Daniel.
Don't lie.
It's not cold.
Oh, it's freezing! No, don't! Right, that's it. Here we go. Race of the century.
I'm going to beat you, Daniel Pender.
No, you're not. On your marks, get set, go!
I'm beating you, Daniel Pender.
No, you're not, it's neck and neck.
Go on.
I'm winning!
I'm catching you up.
Oi!
Dan, it's your brother and his gang again.
Ignore him. Ow, get off!
Having fun with your little friends in the water?
Ow, stop throwing stones! Ow, what are you doing?
Bully.
This is our beach!
Big Tim was always on it, Daniel. He never let him be. So for the rest of that summer, we set ourselves off.
Right across to the other side of the island.
We tried to sell our boats in the rough water, but
It's useless. They always capsize here.
There isn't anywhere else.
Yes, there is. But it's somewhere we could go.
Where?
Rushy Bay. It's the only place left for us.
What if the Birdman sees us?
It's just an old man, Gracie. The oldest man on the island. Anyway, he can't be worse than Big Tim.
But
There's nothing to be frightened of. We'd have the whole bay to ourselves.
what if the Birdman sees us? He's only got to touch and you'll catch it.
Catch what?
Madness. It's catching. That's what they say.
Who?
Everyone. You go mad just like him if he touches you.
He's trying to frighten you. Anyway, he isn't going to get near enough to touch us. It's sheltered there. We'll stay right at the far end of it, away from his cottage. If we see him coming, we'll run.
What would my dad say?
Nothing, if he doesn't know. Won't tell him, will you?
Of course not.
Next day, Rushy Bay.
Dan, I'm going home.
You'll be all right.
There it was, a huge sandy beach.
we could see the Birdman's cottage, but there's no sign of him anywhere.
Come on, it's all right.
The wind was perfect.
We sailed the boats all day.
I completely forgot about the Birdman.
Then, out of nowhere,
A strong wind
Blows up.
Whistles across the bay.
Filling the sails of the wooden boat.
It's heading out to sea.
That's the rocks.
Gone.
It might turn back.
No hope. It's the fastest we ever made.
Dan, it's time to go home.
Nowhere's safe.
The tide might bring it back in.
We'll come and look after dinner.
Before we left,
we hid Grace's boat.
in the sand dunes, but when we got back,
It's gone.
We left it here. I know we did.
Someone's taken it.
No one comes here.
The Birdman does.
But why would he? What would he want with a wooden boat? Keep looking. It'll be here somewhere.
Dad, it's time to go home. We've looked everywhere. It's gone. Dan,
suddenly Dan threw himself down over the dunes
Dan, come back.
and started heading towards the Birdman's cottage.
Dan.
I was alone on the beach.
Gracie! Gracie! They were together. Above the tide. Careful. Look at those shells. They make a pattern.
Their initials. ZW.
What's that?
listen.
You hear it? Cries of men all around you. Sharp, excited cries of hungry men, waist high in the angry water. Hungry men, fading in the dark, sharp blades hacking in the torchlight.
I'm scared.
Listen, it's there, buried in the sand, clinging to the seaweed. Pick up a shell, hold it to your ear. Listen, that's not the sea, that's the past. That's the curse of Samson. Hear it? The curse of Samson.
And we ran,
And ran,
and ran,
and ran,
and ran,
and ran.
not daring to look back. Will you finish your tea again?
With that Daniel Pender again, will you? Don't let him lead you into trouble. Or a scallywag he is. The hair's always stood up on end like he's just got out of bed, which he probably has.
Looks on everything, you know. He's a clever boy. Seen those boats he makes?
Saw the Birdman today.
I hope you get the distance.
Is that his real name?
No, it's Woodruff. That's what his mother was called anyway. They were the last ones to leave Samson when he was well, starving. They were. Some say she was a witch. Some say she was mad. Maybe she's both. The same can be said about the Birdman. I don't know if he was mad or just evil. Either way, it's best you keep away. There's things I could tell you.
Don't go frightening her. Anyway, it's only rumours and tittle-tattle. If anything goes wrong at this island, they blame it on the Birdman. Lobsters aren't there to be caught, it's his fault. Blights of the potatoes, it's his fault. Dog goes missing, they say he's eaten it. It's a lot of old nonsense. He's just a bit simple, a bit mad perhaps.
There's more to it than that.
There's no need to tell her anymore. Long as she doesn't go near him, long as she stays away from Samson, that's all that matters. Just don't go filling her head with all those stories.
But they're not all stories, are they? What about Charlie Weather?
Who's Charlie Weather?
That's enough. You'll frighten her.
There have always been strange stories about Samson, basically. The Birdman and his mother used to say that if anyone set foot on the island, he would bring the curse of Samson down on their family. I never went there. Charlie did. It's a day I'll never forget. At low tide, you could walk Samson across the sand. It was my idea, and I'm not proud of it. I dared Charlie to walk Samson. We were always daring each other to do silly things. I stood on the hill and watched him running towards Samson, leaving the pools. It took him 10 minutes, and there he was, waving and shouting to me. And suddenly, this man in a black suester appeared out of the dunes, screaming and shouting at Charlie.
Listen. You hear it?
The cries of men all around you. That's what you see. That's the past. That's the curse of Samson. Hear it? The curse of Samson.
He ran like a hare back to me. And when he got back to me, he was white with fear. That very same night, Charlie's house burned to the ground. Everyone got out alive, but no one found out what caused the fire. And after that, Charlie went down with scarlet fever. I caught it after him, and then near enough every child on the island got it.
Did Charlie Weather die of it?
No, but that's not the end of the story.
That's enough.
It's not even the beginning. It started long ago, years before Charlie met the Birdman. One morning, the people of Samson woke up to find a ship run aground on their island. But there was no crew. It was deserted, like a ghost ship.
A ghost
You've
ship?
said enough!
So he can put spells and curses on things, like they say he can.
Maybe.
What about his first name? Do you know his first name?
Why all these questions about the Birdman?
You haven't been speaking to him, have you? You haven't been over there?
Of course not.
You leave him to his birds and keep well away. Promise.
I promise. I'll stay away.
2 days later, we're back there, crawling over the hill above Rushy Bay,
Flat on our stomachs.
scanning the bay.
For any sign of the Birdman.
Do you think he's mad?
I don't know. Look at that.
What is it?
Cormorant. We lost it by the tide.
It's really small. Maybe it got blown off the rocks for it could fly.
This thing's going right up to it and away again.
Do you think the Birdman...
It's not real. It's made of wood.
would?
It's been carved. You ever seen anything like it? It's beautiful.
Do you think the Birdman's watching us?
Look as if it could just lift off and fly. I bet he made it for us. Left it here. Let's go and say thanks.
I'm not going anywhere near that cottage.
We don't have to.
What are you doing?
Thanks. Dan. And Grace.
No, you can't. You can't. He'll know who we are. He'll come after us and put all his spells and curses on us. We mustn't talk to him. We're not supposed to.
We're not talking to him.
You can sign your name, but don't put mine. I'm not coming here again, ever. You can keep your stupid boat and your stupid cormorant.
All right. So why did he give us our boats back? Why did he leave his name in the sand? Want to put curses on us? Wouldn't he have done it already? Wouldn't he? He's just trying to be friendly. Thanks. Dan.
G.
I'm going to be able to make something like this one day.
We should go.
You take this. I haven't got anywhere to put it. Not anywhere private.
What if someone finds it? What are we going to say?
Tell them I made it.
They won't believe us.
Better hide it then.
I knew the best place, in the roof above our bed.
Do you think like it from reading one of our boats?
Yeah, we should call it Woodruff.
We built the boat together that spring.
Never took so much trouble before. We signed it.
We waited until sunset in the purple humming heather,
See if the Burman would come for it.
but he never did.
Thanks. Beautiful. ZW.
Today, my dad bought them for me.
Mine are the best. Shut up!
Right. 3, 2. No cheating. Go.
Ooh, nearly, Riley.
Your turn.
You try.
That was awful, John. I want a rematch. Let's go.
Anyone for skipping?
Yes, we'd love to. Here's the rope. Thanks.
Oranges and lemons, scent about some sick lemons. Strawberries and pears, scent about some sickness. Come on, let's go. One more round. It'll be good for our health. I'll go next. No, I'll go next. Dora will go next. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is this a good place to hide?
Definitely. No chance you'll find us here. 20, 21, 22, 52, 99, 100. I'm coming. Now where could they be?
Do you think she's found us?
This is the best place in the whole playground. She'll only find us when the sun sets. I found you! Aww!
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mr. Well-Beloved.
Welly belly.
Look at the grey hair growing out of his ears. And his nose.
Look at his wiry eyebrows. They join in the middle.
Grace Jenkins. 4 4s, please.
16, sir.
I said Grace Jenkins. 7 5s.
45.
Up! Grace Jenkins, you are untidy, unladylike, and unteachable. You, Daniel Pender.
Down!
You will spell unteachable.
U-N-T.
Okay, thank you.
T-H-A.
Quiet.
Q.
country will be at war with Germany.
You're on.
Cries of men, all around you. Sharp, excited cries of hungry men. Waist high in the angry water. Hungry men, flailing in the dark. Sharp blades hacking in the torchlight.
Even when school was finished for the day,
Daniel!
we weren't free.
Daniel!
There was always Big Tim and his gang.
You have to sweep up the boat shed. Father says you've got to do it now!
There were always lobster pots to be mended.
He'll take the strap to you.
But every day we managed to get to the bay to see if the Birdman had left any more messages in the sand.
He wanted to know all about us,
All about our families,
how old they were,
what they looked like,
what they did.
where they lived. It was like having to describe the world blindly.
After we told him about Big Tim,
How much we hated him.
he wrote,
Never hate anyone. Hate eats away at you.
One evening we told that Mr. Wildlove thought there would be a war with Germany.
I am sad today.
I've tried and I've tried. I just can't get it. I can't do the head. Wings are useless. Looks nothing like a puffin.
It looked more like a potato, but I didn't say anything.
I'll have to start again.
Listen to those gulls.
It's so hot.
They're laughing at us.
Let's swim.
No, there's a storm blowing up.
Gracie! He's there! In his boat, below the gulls.
Where's he going to go to in this weather?
He's heading up to Samson.
Why would he want to go there? It's just an island full of sand and empty houses.
Perhaps he goes fishing.
I haven't seen him fish. Have you?
You only ever see him out in bad weather. Doesn't seem to bother him. I've seen him out in gales.
Island of ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts.
There are ghosts on Samson, just like Father said there were. You've only got to look at it. It's cursed, Daniel. I can tell it is.
I don't believe in curses either.
Well, I do.
Here comes the rain.
The first drop was so deep.
they hurt the top of our heads.
It hampered us all the way home.
By the time we got there, we were soaked through.
Houses all around us were dark and quiet.
There were lights on in my house. Can I come in with you?
You're back then, love. I'm afraid that Mr. Wildlove was right.
Right about what? What's happened?
Where is everyone?
They're at the church hall. Your father's gone too.
It's the war, isn't it? They started it just like Willy said they would.
There was such a storm that first night of the war.
The Germans had it coming to them.
A violent thunderstorm that flashed
Bitten off more than they could chew.
and rolled around the island.
We're better sailors than them.
The wind moaned
We're an island race, with the sea bred into us.
and howled through the house.
Won't be long before we defeat them.
I prayed that the Burma had not been caught out of the open sea when the storm broke.
I couldn't sleep.
Neither could I.
I hope you made it to Samson and stayed the night.
What if you didn't make it?
We ran as quickly as we could to the Birdman's cottage. But when we got there, the place was empty.
There's no smoke. No smoke in his chimney.
There's no gulls on his roof either.
The front door banged in the wind.
And no one came to shut it.
Did the town officer? No need to go closer.
You stay here if you want. I'm going to find out if he's in. It'll be all right. Hello? Hello?
There's no one there, I told you, didn't I?
Dan paid no attention. He took my hand firmly in his and we stepped together into the darkness of the cottage.
He's made some bread.
He hasn't been back all night. Gracie, we won't find his boat anywhere.
Hungry, were you? There's plenty of bread. Always make plenty of bread and take one a day. Some in reserve, in case I get ill. Keep you fresh at your last top shelf. Have some if you like. There's a bit of a bluster out there, I can tell you. So, last we meet. I'm glad you came. Was afraid you never would. Could have gone down to the beach, but then you'd have run away as soon as you saw me coming. Not allowed to get too close to me, are you? Keep your distance, is that what they told you? Everyone runs away from me. Used to it by now. I didn't want to risk that with you. Oh, so it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? I'd have tidied up if I'd known you were coming. Mother always said, there's no one as untidy as... What a storm that was last night. I was halfway across to Samson when it hit. Came in faster than I thought it would. Only just made it. Can't pull against the wind like I used to. Stayed the night over there. Only one cottage left with a roof on it. Made a fire, kept myself warm. Then at first light, with the wind behind me and the storm blown over, I set off back. Had to milk the goat and feed the hens. Never had to pull so hard in all my life, and then this old wrist seized up. Couldn't hold onto the oar anymore. Couldn't grip it. Worst of getting old? Body won't do what you tell it. Nearly ended up on those rocks. Had to paddle my heart out with one oar. Finally washed up on Popplestone Bay, and I wasn't the only thing washed up. That whole beach is covered with timber.
Where's he found the oar? She found your oar, Mr. Woodruff. The one you lost. That's why we came here. To see if you were all right. We're soon getting out. Then, when the storm came in...
Tell him about the war.
Mr. Woodruff, you know we told you what Wally Bay said? Well, they started it. They started it yesterday. It's all right, though. Everyone thinks we're going to win. It's just that now we've got to be on the lookout for German submarine ships and things, in case we get invaded. And we're not allowed to show light at night. We have to draw the curtains.
You can talk all you want, Daniel, but I won't really hear a word of it. These ears of mine don't quite work like they should. Haven't done since I was a boy. Mother always said it was the fever that did it, the fever we caught the day we left Samson. If you've got something to tell me, you'll have to write it down. Got plenty of paper. Keep it for drawing all the birds.
You do it. You spell better. They started the war yesterday.
It's wrong. It's all wrong. War and war and war and war and killing and fighting, it's wrong. I should know. I should know better than anyone. Time you'll go. Go on, get off home. That cormorant I gave you. It must be getting lonely. I can't do much more with this one.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Better get on your way.
We'll come again.
Come again, yes, come again.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget that timber. Washed up all over the beach. Great, thick pine planks they are. Cartloads of it. Hurry. As soon as the preventative hear about it, they'll be crawling all over the island. Hide them well.
Freshly washed up from the sea. I get this one, Mum. Belongs to the island as much as asks us to fish we catch.
Let's get this lot hidden
That's me. You're looking for something?
This is a serious matter, Mr. Jenkins.
I've no doubt.
It so happens we heard there are a few timbers washed up on the west coast of Bryre this afternoon. Columbian pine planks, good sound timber, 15 foot long, a foot wide, and 3 inches thick. Seems like they came in during the storm last night.
If you say so.
I do say so, Mr. Jenkins. Cup of tea! It's my duty to remind you that any such timber would be the property of the Crown, and it would be a criminal offence to remove it or conceal it from the proper authorities. Mr. Jenkins, a criminal offence, and I am the proper authorities.
But there isn't any timber here, is there? You couldn't hide something like that here.
No, Mr. Jenkins, you couldn't. I've come to ask you formally, Mr. Jenkins, whether you have come across any such timber.
I wish I had. And if I had, you'd be the first person I'd tell. I'm a law-abiding citizen. You should know that. We all are here on Bryre.
Of course, I've never been on an island that's more law-abiding than this. That's if you believe what I've heard on every doorstep I've visited. No one I've spoken to has seen anything. But I wonder if your little girl can help us. Children have such keen eyes, don't they, Mr. Jenkins? Perhaps she's seen something you may have overlooked. Something funny, little girl!
No, sir.
This is a serious matter.
Yes, sir.
Nothing funny about it at all.
It was just the thought of those hundreds of pine planks lying hidden under the pathways, potato fields, and flower pieces all over the island.
Well, if you've nothing to hide, then you won't mind if I search the house.
What? Search my house for 15-foot wooden planks. Where would I hide something of that size in a small place?
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised the places I found things.
Really?
I think I'll take a look in the roof.
Not the roof, please, not the roof.
You're welcome to look, but you won't find anything but dead birds and mice. Nothing to hide, have you, Grace?
The roof was the only secret place in the house, the only place no one ever looked into. That was why I pinned the Bearman's cormorant there.
It's all right, love.
I knew exactly where they were.
He'll be gone soon.
Well, what have we here, Mr. Jenkins?
They talked together for a long time before I heard the trapdoor drop back into place.
Well, what did I say? Nothing but dead birds and mice. Quite surprised, really. If you hadn't come looking for that wood, we would have never found it. I'm quite grateful. You've not seen this before, have you, Grace? Your grandfather made it over 50 years ago. You remember it, don't you, Clemmy?
Right, I'll be off then. Remember, if you see anything...
You'll be the first person I tell. And where did you get this from? Truth?
Me and Daniel, we made it.
You made this. You expect me to believe that, do you?
It's true.
This is the work of a real craftsman. Daniel couldn't do this.
Besides, what's it doing in the roof? Answer me that.
All right, I'll tell you. I hid it up there so I could give it to you as a Christmas present. So it'd be a surprise, so you wouldn't find it. I would never give you anything again, ever. You could.
I'm going to have a word with that Daniel Pendle.
I knew Dad would find out the truth once he spoke to Daniel. He guessed we couldn't have possibly made something like that. Once he knew I'd been lying, I had to tell him everything about how the Bearman made it, the Bearman gave it to me. We've been going to his house, been to his beach, we've been talking to him. I prayed that Daniel was at home.
She's not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this, Granny. He made this one too.
You made this yourself, Daniel.
I can't do puffins, though.
And you made the cormorant.
Gracie helped me.
I should have thought that puffins would have been easier than cormorants. Who taught you to carve like this?
I taught myself.
This is just how they are when they've caught fish. They want to keep it for themselves. Have you ever seen anything like it before? It's been a bit of a misunderstanding, please. How about you put this back in the roof and we'll have it for Christmas, just like you planned. Forgive and forget, okay?
And when I did, he just blinked at me. He always blinked when he meant to blink. When we got to the jetty, the Princeton boat was just weighing anchor. Half the island turned out to watch them leave empty-handed. We waited in the silent crowd until the boat was well out into the channel. And then... Yay!
night cheered louder than anyone.
We had more to cheer about, but the feeling didn't last long as news of the war came in.
Pay attention, class. I have something important to say. There have been more retreats on the battlefield of France. More ships have sunk. We may not be winning yet, but we will be soon. Our little army is holding its own against the German hordes sweeping its way through France. Right. We can do our best to help our soldiers by knitting blankets and socks for them. But socks aren't enough. We must remain vigilant and report anything at all that looks suspicious. Invasion is always possible. We must be prepared.
I don't know.
England!
If you've missed the well below.
England!
Who inspired the war games.
England!
The big Tim who organised them.
You're Germans, rest of us, we're English, or we win! Line up, man. You, wait there, wait to be killed! Charge! Fall down, I shot you, fall down!
Missed.
Of course I did, you're German, go on then, run away! Cowards, deserters, another victorious day for the glorious British Army. England! Charge!
Every day we went to see the Birdman. His cottage became like a second home, or even Big Tim his stupid games. We collected wood for him and helped patch up his boat. I needed dough for him when his fingers seized up. Dan spent hours with the Birdman, working away his carvings, chiseling away lumpy blocks of wood until the beginnings of a gull or an oyster catch would emerge. The more he learnt, the more he seemed to enjoy it. That year, Dan and the Birdman created an entire new private language of signs.
I want to make it look as if it's flying.
That's difficult.
Torpedo! Oh, sorry, Samson! Is it true there were ghosts on Samson Mr. Woodruff? You know, ghosts. Like this. Ooh! Ooh! It's just that Gracie believes in them, but it's not true. Is it?
Ghosts. Ghosts. Do you know what a ghost is? Well, I'll tell you. A ghost is a soul so darkened with shame and sin it can never rest. Yes, there are ghosts on Samson. You cannot see them. You cannot hear them, but they are there. I know they are there. They are all there. All the guilty men of Samson. My father with them. His spirit is there on Samson. They all are, and they always will be, unless the curse of Samson can be lifted, unless I can save them. Until then, that place is cursed, so you keep away from it. Stay away, both of you.
Clemmy, I've done it. I feel 10 years younger. I should have done it long ago. Do you remember that explosion we heard last night? They sank another one of our freighters. 2 of our boys dead. Young lads, not even half my age. Clemmy, I decided there and then I wasn't going to stand by and watch any longer. I've joined the Navy. I've taken the King's ship.
I knew you would sooner or later.
It's okay, you won't go short. I've worked it all out. I'll be sending money home all the time.
I'm not worried about that. Me and Gracie can manage it till you get back. I might even catch a few lobsters. No, it's you I worry about.
I won't be gone long. The war won't last long. Not now either.
When are you going?
Soon.
And it was all too soon.
Take good care of your mother, Rosa. Bye, Clem.
At least he's happy now. be back. You'll see.
Daniel and me will look after you until he gets back.
Just until he gets back home.
Nothing was ever the same again after Dad left. One day soon, any day now, your father will come through the gate and up the path, and I want him to find everything, just as he left it.
End of the summer, she got a cough. Working long hours in the field and out in the boat, it took her strength and clustered in her chest. Only letters from Dad would brighten her life, but the bear was as good as his word.
Where did that come from?
I found it on the doorstep.
People are so kind.
Thanks for the honey.
Thank the bees.
But we can't live on charity. Your father wouldn't like it.
The bear man kept supplied all that year. Eggs, milk, bread.
It's the money, Gracie. He sent all he can, but it's not enough. I've had to buy seed potatoes and bulbs this year. There's repairs to the boat. I've got to keep the boat going, Gracie, for your father when he gets back. There's still the rent to pay. I could manage if I was strong enough to go out and do a bit of fishing. I hate this war, what it's doing to us.
I could do it. I could go fishing. Daniel will go with me. We can handle the boat together. I've been out with the farmer plenty of times enough. I know the best places. Together we can manage the boat.
No, you're both too young.
Please.
It's out of the question. If it was summer, but you get out at this time of year and the wind picks up, you'll not be back. We'll lose you and the boat. Gracie, it's too dangerous.
Next evening.
A still, overcast evening.
The sea.
The same soft grey.
As the sky.
We waited until the beach was deserted and slid the boat gently into the water. Made our way past Samson towards Silly Rock. It's the best place for pilchards.
Tell your mum we caught them off the point.
We baited our hooks, let down the lines, and within half an hour we'd caught more fish than we had ever dreamed of. 2 dozen.
The boat lolled beneath them.
Lapped by a listless sea.
A bass. Large one.
A grey wall of fog.
Rolled in.
And another!
Silly Rock disappeared.
Samson vanished.
In a white blanket.
We were alone on a silent sea. The breeze had gone.
The fog, like a living creature.
Seemed to listen.
To their every breath. How will we get home?
Just keep Silly Rock astern of us and we'll be able to feel home.
But I can't see it anymore.
You can hear it though. Hear it surf breaking on the rocks. Listen.
Listen. Hear
Hear
it.
it.
That's
Not the sea. That's the past. That's the curse of Samson. Hear it. The curse of Samson.
Are you scared?
A bit.
Just keep stand astern of us and we'll be able to feel our way home. There's no swell, so we won't go on the rocks.
Dan began to row, only one stroke at a time, listening to see if he could hear the surf against Silly Rock. But still, no land loomed up out of the fog. He kept on rowing.
We should be home by now.
We strained our ears against the hiss of the surf, anything to get some idea of where we were, but we couldn't hear anything.
We don't know where we are, do we?
No, we only know that we're cold and we're going to get colder if we just sit here. So we're going to row. We're going to row until we warm up. And then we'll rest and then we'll row some more.
We might be rowing out to sea.
At least we'll keep warm.
That night I discovered you can sing almost anything there is to rhythm with the oars.
10 green bottles.
We were halfway through 10 green
And if
bottles.
one green
For the
bottle
fourth time.
should accidentally fall, there'll be 9 green bottles hanging on the wall. 9 green bottles hanging on
Dan.
the wall. And 1
Dan, there's a light.
should accidentally
Dan, there's a light.
8 green
Dan!
bottles hanging on the
Flipping
wall.
there!
I saw it too.
The boat beached even before we saw the shore.
We're home.
It's funny.
What?
I can't hear anything. It's completely silent.
It's just the fog.
No, it's like everything's dead. There are no pebbles. No pebbles on the beach. Just shells. There should be pebbles. There's your light. See it? There'll be somebody there. You can find out where we are.
Then we smelt smoke and saw a lick of orange flame leap into the sky.
It's huge.
Our light had become a great spitting beacon of fire, a towering teepee of flame.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there?
Someone must have lit it. Hello? Is anybody there? Nothing.
Gracie, I don't recognise this place.
Everywhere looks different in the fog.
No, I know every inch of Briar.
You can't tell at night. This could be any of the islands. St. Tresco, Agnes.
No, I've never been here before. I'm sure of it. Gracie, I think you're on Samson.
No, we can't be. Someone must have lit that fire, and Samson's supposed to be deserted.
I was petrified he might be right.
Who lit the fire?
I think it was the Birdman. He's the one who comes here. It must have been him.
Why would he want to light a fire?
To keep warm, I don't know. But as soon as it's light, we'll go and find him. We'll find the house he stays in. He says the only one on the island with a roof on it. He can't leave the island in this fog any more than we can.
Dan, what if those stories are true? What if Samson does have a curse on it? What's going to happen to us then?
They're just stories.
So why doesn't anyone land here then?
They're scared, that's all. Just scared.
Well, so am I. There are ghosts here, Daniel. I can tell there is.
You ever seen a ghost?
No.
So how do you know they're real? All those stories about houses burning down and curses and scarlet fever? They're just stories. Everyone thinks the Bugman's mad, don't they?
Yes.
Well, is he? They soon catch madness if you touch him. Well, you've touched him, haven't you? Have you gone mad? They're just stories. Stupid, stupid stories. We'll stay by the fire until light. Then we'll go and find him.
Only fear kept me awake that night. Fear of what might be out there, beyond the warm glow of the fire. I tossed and turned all night praying we weren't on Samson. Through the twisting, curling fog,
Dan?
then a huge, skull-like face, empty, staring eyes,
Dan, don't go any nearer.
a gruesome, grinning mouth.
Dan!
It's all right. This is an old wooden cottage. Windows are broken.
Dan poked his head out of one of the eyes.
Come and look. Hasn't even got a roof on it.
I'm not going in there.
Gracie, there's another house. This one has a roof on it. It must be the Birdman's. Gracie, I found it over the fireplace.
What is it?
Some kind of spear. Feel it. It's not made of wood.
It's cold.
It's bone.
It's off a unicorn.
Couldn't be. There's no such thing.
Then what else does it come off?
I don't know. I'll ask the Birdman. He'll know.
No. Put it back. Forget about it. He mustn't know we've been here.
He won't be mad. We didn't mean to land here.
No one must know.
There is no curse.
The fog's lifted. We can get away now. We should be able to make our way back to Briar.
We couldn't leave Samson behind quickly enough, although we knew the kind of welcoming that was waiting.
Father's going to strap me as usual. Can't expect him not to. Not after I took his boat out. It'll make it worse if I tell him where we've been.
So, what are we going to tell them then?
The truth. When we leave out the bit about landing on Samson, we got lost. We went fishing and got lost in the fog.
So we don't have to tell the Birdman either.
He's about the only person I would never lie to. Except for you, of course.
You can ask him by yourself and ask him about that thing you found in the cottage.
Okay, I'll ask him. Row slower. I'm in no hurry to get home.
You're falling now. Every boy inside has been looking for you, taking Dan's boat without his permission. He'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget. He'll tan you black and blue.
Gracie Jenkins, you have shamed me in front of everyone. How will I ever hold my head up on this island again after this? They'll think it was me that sent you out fishing because I couldn't cope. As if I'd do that. I thought I'd lost you, Grace. I thought I was never going to see you again. I spent the whole night wondering how I was going to tell your father when he gets back home. I know why you went out fishing. I can do without the money, but I can't do without you. Promise me you'll never go off like that again. Never again.
I promise.
You're cold. I'm glad your father wasn't home. He'd have hit the roof. I suppose he wouldn't have gone in the first place if he had been home. And if he known why you'd gone, he would have been proud of you, that's for sure. Just like I am.
He can't be gone long, can he? The war can't last forever, can it?
Can't it? Better not go around with Daniel Frankie for a while. Plenty of people think that you've been getting him into mischief. I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
I had a dream that night we got back from Samson. I saw through a sunlit fog, Father, riding over the sea, on a bright white unicorn. He was in his sailor's uniform and he rode so fast that his cap fell off. I jumped down to get it, but the unicorn galloped off without him and left him standing alone on the sea. He searched everywhere for his hat, but he couldn't find it. It didn't seem to bother him though. He was laughing all the time. Even as he sank into the sea, he was still laughing and waving at me.
Overnight, it seemed like we had become famous.
We were the heroes of the hour.
Dan! Gracie! Gracie! Dan! We heard about your adventure! Weren't you staying at sea all night? Was the sea rough? Did the boat leak?
Weren't you cold?
You rowed all night. What did you eat? Fish? How did you cook it?
You ate it raw?
Yeah!
The victim wasn't interested in us. He stood in the corner of the yard, glowering at us. I tried to warn Daniel that he was up to something, but he wouldn't listen.
Look, whatever happens today, just stay out of it. Don't say anything, whatever happens. Understand?
Good morning, class.
Brutal German enemy, the Hun, who, as we speak of, are being pushed back by our own valiant British soldiers. But we must remain ever watchful, vigilant.
And we sang,
God save the King.
again.
1, 2, 3, 4.
God save our gracious King. Long live our noble King. God save our King.
Dan, did you ask the Birdman about Samson? Dan?
It wasn't that Dad ignored me. He was always there close by me, but it was like he was trying to protect me from something.
Dan, did you ask...
I haven't seen him.
You in it? Oi lads, look what we've found. You in it together.
You're always together.
Isn't that right, if you're guilty?
She's guilty! Guilty of what? So you saw me coming out of the Birdman's cottage last night. What's the harm in that?
Keep a good lookout, Wellblood said, for king and country.
So we did, and what did we find?
But my little brother running across the sailing into the Birdman's cottage? Stroke of luck, really.
Because we've been watching that house the last few days.
Do you know why, Danny boy?
That friend of yours.
That Birdman!
He's the only one on Bright who doesn't close his curtains at night like he should.
Now what do you think that is? Hey?
Well, I'll tell you, it's because he's a spy.
He's a Hun-loving spy, and he's signaling to German submarines out at sea.
That's why.
And that makes you a friend of a spy, doesn't it, Danny boy?
A Hun lover.
That's what you are. I've got a Hun lover for a little brother.
Don't be stupid. He wouldn't do that. He doesn't even like the war, so no one ever wins a war. Don't want anyone to win it.
Doesn't he indeed? Father's going to find this all very interesting when I tell him.
Have all you like, just leave the Birdman alone. You don't need to show tonight tonight because he hasn't got any curtains.
No curtains, got blankets, hasn't he? He can put up blankets, he's a spy.
Can't you understand? He hates the war!
Listen. You hear them?
Hates the way it turns men into savages.
The sharp, excited cries of hungry men.
When I get home, I'm going to tell Father all about you and that Birdman.
Hungry men, flailing in the dark.
And he'll tell the Navy, and they'll come and question him. Question him until he tells everything.
Sharp blades hacking in the torchlight.
You know what happens to spies, don't you? They shoot. They shoot them and their friends.
Get off him!
Welly Belly's coming. Shall I tell him what I found? That's where you belong, in the dirt, like all Hun lovers.
I told you to stay out of this. I told you, didn't I?
They won't sink him, will they?
Of course not.
You said you hadn't been seeing the Birdman, but you had.
I didn't want to tell you this. He was going to. It's about...
Daniel!
It's like you said. It's like your father told you.
Daniel!
It's all true, but there's more.
Get in here!
I didn't know what to do. But the curse fell on me or Daniel first. With the house be burnt down when I got home, with Mother be sick with the fever, I had to get to her to warn her.
Gracie, we've lost your father.
Lost him?
He's missing.
The Lord Commissioners of Admiralty regret to inform you that J591671, able seaman Peter Jenkins, of HMS Louis, was reported missing on the 31st of October. That means he's not coming back, doesn't it?
Why him?
I knew the answer to that question. As soon as I read the letter, I knew it was me who made my dad die. It was me who'd gone on Samson and brought the curse down on us.
Mum, I need to...
Before I get the words out, people from the village started.
So sorry to hear the news, Clemens. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you with Gracie.
They made short, whispered speeches,
Dreadful business missing in action.
kept their eyes to the floor,
We can only hope and pray in these difficult times.
and left quickly.
God bless you, God bless you, brother.
It was like we had a disease.
Not someone else. Please, not someone else. People are so kind. But I don't think I can face someone else. I'm tired. So tired.
Might be Daniel. Mr. Wood.
I heard about your husband. Come to tell you I'm sorry. Believe me, Mrs. Jenkins, I am so sorry.
Mr. Woodruff, I think I have more to thank you for than just this one pot of honey. It's been you, hasn't it, who's been so kind to me and Gracie. Mr. Woodruff, I have a cup of tea, it's still warm. So now we know who it was. But why? I've never spoken to him before this evening. Worse than that, I've avoided him my whole life. I felt like he meant what he said today, more than anyone else. It was almost as if he was apologising.
To my relief, Mother said no more about it until I was in bed.
Gracie, I've been thinking about Mr. Woodruff. Gracie? Good night, my love.
Gracie. I'm sorry about your dad.
It was Curtis Sanson, wasn't it? He's dead because we went on that island. It's all true, isn't it?
It's not your fault. The Birdman's told me everything.
I don't understand.
I'll tell you later. There's no time now. We've got to warn him.
We ran as quickly as we could to the Bearman's cottage, but when we got there, the place was empty.
But we're on Copperstone, collecting driftwood. It's them! They're coming! Up there, on the skyline!
What can we do?
Nothing. We're too late and there's too many of them.
We ran through the hell of Copperstone to find the Birdman.
He's there, down on the beach.
Next to him was a long, dark shape, the Birdman, kneeling in the water beside him. It could have been mistaken for a great log, except that
It moved.
It moved by itself.
Ah, thank goodness! You've come! You've come! You must help me!
from its head to its tail, it was the length of a small boat.
You must help me move her!
The creature
I can't do it on my own. I'm not strong enough.
had a long pointed horn that stuck out from its blunt black head.
That horn, it's just like the one we found on Samson. It's been 9 foot long.
No, it's an owl. Been here all night trying to roll her back into the sea. Too heavy.
It's like the ones from Samson.
Samson, yes.
It's the same, isn't it?
The same, and it will happen all over again. We have to get it back into the water. It will be the end of Briar.
What will?
Charge!
Look! We came to warn you! They think we're signaling to German submarines!
Submarines. All that matters now is the whale. She must not be allowed to die.
They're going inside the cottage now.
They think you're a spy!
The tide's already on the turn. If we don't get it back in the water soon, it'll be too late.
I can't see any of them outside anymore.
We must roll her into the sea.
However hard we pushed and shoved,
Ready? 1, 2,
trying to ignore the sounds of destruction
3.
coming from the Bearman's cottage,
Push!
the whale always rolled back. She now lay buried in a deep trough of wet sand.
Rest. Get your strength back.
We've got that, hey lads! Look at the size of that!
It's a whale! Another whale!
Good. More people. We can move her now.
What's he going on about?
The whale is stuck on the
There's
sand!
not much time.
The Birdman says if we don't get it off...
The Birdman says he's a hunt lover, Gracie. He signals to German submarines. Maybe the one that killed your dad.
Shut up, Tim!
Friend, I might hurt your friend.
Shut
Stop
up!
arguing. We have to put the whale
We've
back
broken every window in your friend's cottage. And if he stays inside it any longer, we'll be back, won't we, lads?
And then it won't just be the windows will break, it'll be him!
Talk.
you mad old fool!
Clear out.
You're not wanted on this island!
You must be Big Tim. Daniel's told me all about you.
Did you now?
You must help us.
Help you?
That whale don't belong to you. It belongs to all of us!
No difference to Tim and what they were at last year. Is it, lads?
We shared that, didn't we?
Plenty of flesh on these fish. Bet this horn's worth a bob or two.
You can't kid her!
Why won't they help?
But none of us were listening. We were staring out to sea.
There was nothing there but the sound at first.
Strange, roaring, crying.
From the open water, a crescendo of thunderous, snorting, whistling.
Within minutes, the bay was alive with whales. Great spouts of water shot into the air.
We've come. It's too late.
What a catch! There must be dozens of out there! We can't do it on our own! I'm going for help!
He talks too fast. I don't understand what he's saying. Is he going for help?
No! He's going to fetch the whole island down here. But they won't be coming to help. They'll be coming to kill. There's nothing we can do. There'll be too many of them.
We did all we could to discourage the whales from coming too close to the shore, shouting and screaming at the water's edge, hurling stones and driftwood at them. But every faint whistle from the stranded whale set off a chorus of snorting and whistling, and each flow of activity brought them closer to the shore.
Come to the whale, Gracie. Talk to her. Sing to her. Anything so she doesn't call out.
It's them! They're there! Victim and his mates running out in front!
The island behind them.
belong to us.
You'll have to kill me first. This whale must go back to the sea, where she belongs. And then we must drive them all back out to the sea.
We don't have to listen to this old fool. Those whales could turn and head out to sea at any moment, and we would lose the lot. Out of the way, Woodruff. We're within our rights. Stand aside.
Don't do it! Listen to him! He's telling the truth. I know he is!
Come on, lads.
Wait! You know nothing, Tim Pender, because you don't think. You never have. You only know what you want to know. You're a bully and a coward, and you should be ashamed of yourself. I've known this man all my life, and like you, I've never spoken to him. But in all that time, when has he ever harmed any of us? We're all frightened of him, and we tell our children to stay away. But what has he ever done to harm any of us? I don't know what these two have been up to, or why Mr. Woodruff wants to save these creatures. But what I do know is that we owe it to him and to them to hear them out. If after that you still want to kill the whale, then you can. They'll still be here. Tell us about it.
It's all happened before, when the Roman was a boy. There was another whale, a narwhal, beached. Just like this one, just the same. His mother and him tried to move it, to get back into the water, but they couldn't. Everyone was there watching, but they wouldn't help. Not even his father.
Why not?
Because there are other whales out there in the bay, just like there are now. And the more stranded whale cried out, the closest the others came to the beach. The people only had to wait, and they knew it. Soon, other whales were stranded, calling out to each other.
Mother begged them not to do it. I begged them not to do it, but it was no good. They'd made up their minds.
They said there was enough ivy in their horns to make them all rich.
There is, come on.
Listen! Do you hear them? The cries of men all around you, bedded deep in the rocks, hanging in the air.
They slaughtered the whales in shallow water.
The sharp, excited cries of hungry men.
They killed them all.
Hungry men, flaming in the dark, sharp blades hacking in the torchlight.
And the blood-stained sand, and ran out into the sea.
The sea was redder that evening than any sunset I've ever seen. Listen, it's there, buried in the sand, clinging to the seaweed. Pick up a shell, hold it to your ear. That's not the sea, that's the past. That's the curse of Samson. Hear it, the curse of Samson.
Next morning, they would find a ship out in the bay, stuck fast on a sandbank. There was no one on it.
The ghost ship Father told me about.
Next morning, they flew her off and sailed to Penzance, where the men of the island went.
My father.
They took the horns with them to sail on the mainland.
I never saw my father again.
The one we found on Samson.
You've been on Samson, Gracie.
None of the men came back. The ship went down with all hands.
Mother said the island was cursed because they had massacred all the whales.
No one believed her. They said she was mad. I didn't believe her when ship after ship was wrecked on the rocks of Samson.
And then the hunger came, and the disease, and we knew what it was.
All they had to eat was limpets and wild rabbits. Finally, the wells dried up.
It was the curse that finally drove us off Samson.
It's all happened before, and it's going to happen again. Here on Bright, if we kill these whales, the island will be cursed. We'll all be cursed.
All my life, I've tried to keep people away from Samson.
That's why he goes out there, whenever there's a storm or it's foggy. To light a beacon, to warn ships to stay away.
So it was you. You.
I wish I had never done it. It was my fire that drew you to the island, brought the curse down on your family, and now your father's dead.
Well, what are we waiting for? If we don't hurry, every one of those whales will be on the beach and we'll never get them off.
This time there were no islands.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Heave! Heave! She's tiring.
Try again.
1, 2, 3.
Keep going.
1, 2, 3. Heave! Heave! Heave!
Lift her into the water.
1, 2, 3.
Lift!
We left them wallowing in the shallows until the birdman was satisfied.
Right.
And then as the tide came in, we washed up, swam out towards the others in the bay. And then in came one of them, and I never was quite sure which one she was after that.
Maybe it will be all right. Maybe it will.
Mr. Woodruff, I think you've done enough. It's a cold night. You're soaked to the skin. You can't sleep in a house with no windows. Come home with us.
I want to be sure they've gone. It's over now. The curse of Samson is finished. All will be well now.
No one ever saw the birdman again. We found his cat washed up on the beach a few days later, but his boat was never found. The next morning I saw a message in the sand, and I could just make out the letter ZW.
Mum, why are the church bells ringing? It's not Sunday.
It's Monday. School day. Hurry up and I'll walk you down.
As we came down the hill, the quay was full of people, all clapping and cheering.
Is over. Can you see who it is? Gracie, can you see?
And I could see. Mother could not believe her eyes.
It's me! Calamity, it's me! They tell me I should be dead and drowned, but I'm not.
That night, every boat and Briar set out across the dancing sea for Samson, and no one stayed behind. We roamed the island from end to end and stayed until well after dark. We never forgot that day on Copperstone Bay.